And good evening, you lovely Bitcoiners from around the world, from the UK. It is me, Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, back as always every Monday and every Thursday at 6 p.m. London time with my UK Bitcoin Master live show. Thanks for being here. Strong Bitcoin hand, people. It's the name of the game on this channel, and it is great to have you all with me. You can see my disclaimer, so read that as we go through the intro. I'm not going to give any financial advice, so don't take it as that. I'm on my phone to check the YouTube chat. So Phil Volman, welcome. Yorkie Bitcoiner. Jean from Holland's in. Proud Zionist Jew. Adam, welcome to you. Rocky Palumbo. We've got Lance in the house. Zaza's with us. My lovely wife Elaine. My daughter Buffy W. I've seen JC Borta earlier. Who else have I missed out? Rocky Palumbo, I mentioned you. Just scrolling down, can't see anybody else there. David Carney from Dublin, welcome to you, David. As always, people, strong hand. Don't forget to tweet the show out. Sorry, I'm putting my phone down there. Don't forget to tweet the show link out. I would greatly appreciate it. So, very quickly before we get started, whoops, that shouldn't be doing that. There's my websites for those of you that are just finding this channel maybe in the future or maybe haven't checked the channel out yet. UKBitcoinmaster.com, that's where all the videos are housed that I've ever done, and bitcoininterviews.com is where my live interviews are housed with some of the greatest Bitcoiners in the space, I truly believe. And finally, for anybody that wants to drop a lightning tip, there you go. There's my tippin.me address. You don't have to. I'd much prefer you tweet the show link out, but there it is for those that want it. So I want to give a quick shout out to my good friend down in Australia, Bitcoin to the Moon, who very kindly sent me this t-shirt. I met this guy 2 years ago, I believe now, when he was over in the UK, and he's a really superb guy. Check out bitcointothemoon.com as well. He's got some merchandise like a lot of others have got. So it's all going on, isn't it? The crypto market is up, or the Bitcoin market is up and down like a fiddler's elbow. As I was preparing the show, there was the red candles going down with a correction. It's now rebounding back again. So let's get over to the desktop and take a quick look. Here we are. We're around the 15.2 mark again. And who would have thought this, a couple of months ago? So, don't worry about the short-term price swings of day to day. Worry about what's happening to Bitcoin over the long term. So if I bring this in, you'll get an idea of what's going on. The more I bring it in, the more you can see it might be up and down on a daily basis, an hourly basis. But look, generally, we are in an upward direction. No one knows when we're going to hit that elusive 20k mark and bust through the previous all-time high, but I believe it is coming. It is definitely coming, and it's coming soon. I also believe, if I'm right in saying that on the close of play yesterday, Bitcoin achieved its third all-time high, end of month close of all time. Is that about right, Rocky? Have I said that right? So again, another milestone there for Bitcoin. So what I want to do is ask you all to please follow me on Twitter. Really important. Follow me on Parler as well. If you're not aware what Parler is a Twitter alternative that doesn't censor free speech. So I'm also on Parler. So check me out there. I'm also on Facebook at UK Bitcoin Master. For those that want to find me on Facebook, I'm on BitChute, I'm on DTube, I'm on Library or RLBRY.tv. They'll all come up at the end. Follow me on one or some of those platforms. My top advice for those of you finding me for the first time is my channel has already been taken down once by YouTube. Thankfully, we got it back. But I set up a spare channel, a backup channel, UK Bitcoiner, UK Gap Bitcoiner. Go and subscribe there. You won't be inundated with stuff because it's dormant. But if this channel goes down again, I've got somewhere I can go live instantly on my next show. And if you're already following me there and you've hit the bell button and the subscribe button, of course, if you don't see me go live here, you're going to get the notification that I've gone live over here. So do check me out there at UK Bitcoiner. So let's get over to the desktop and see what's going on in the world of Bitcoin. Okay. Okay, so here we are. Bitcoin at 15K is now bigger than PayPal, Coca-Cola, Netflix, and Disney. Why is that a benefit? What are you going to do? You need something to be armed with when those naysayers out there say, Bitcoin is for drugs and guns and criminals and darknet activities. Hey, this is the type of article you want in your back pocket or a link to, and you can say, is that what you think? I'm going to ping you a link over. Have a read of this article then. So let's have a look at what it is saying. Hold on a second. My cursor's just gone. There we are. So if we scroll down, it says in early September of this year, the market cap of Bitcoin was hovering at 190 billion when the BTC price was hovering around 10K. Well, we're now up, aren't we? 50% on that. In the past 2 months, however, the price of Bitcoin rose to over 15K, which it still is. With it, the market cap of Bitcoin surged from 190 billion to 280 billion or thereabouts. This now makes Bitcoin more valuable than most major US currencies. That is the takeaway from this article, people. That is why this is such an interesting article, because, you can help people to understand Bitcoin, not by bamboozling them with what you know and all the, the ins and outs of blockchain technology and, X-pub keys and all the stuff that most people look at you and glaze over and think, what's this person on? Show them articles like this. Collect articles like this, save them in your Words or your Documents folder or whatever you do, and find, when I got into Bitcoin, I looked for 4 or 5 videos along with some articles. And by the way, back in mid-2017, there weren't a great amount of articles out there that were positive on Bitcoin, that's for sure. But today there are. You want to collate some, and you want to have something that you can send to a friend, a family member, whoever, to try and get them to read or watch something or a bit of both on why they should be taking a look at Bitcoin. We that are in the space, we that are down the rabbit hole, we that have been what we call orange pilled, we should be reaching out to others so that if they decline our invitation to look at Bitcoin, at least we can sleep soundly in our bed, that when it moons and our life is changed and our family's lives are changed for generations to come, they can't ever turn around and say, well, you didn't give me a call about it, did you? Because you can turn around and say, well, actually, I did. But you laughed at me and you weren't interested. And this is what I've done with tons and tons of my friends, my business colleagues, family members. None of them can say that I haven't told them about it. And when I say something and I see them laugh tongue in cheek or roll their eyes, I leave it be. That's their problem. They are going to be the losers in this, not me. Okay, so what else have we got we can take a look at? Bitcoin up nearly 2,000% since the 2016 US election. Okay, let's have a look at what I highlighted. In the 4 years since the previous US presidential election, Bitcoin has appreciated by nearly 2,000%. On November the 8th, 16, the day of the election that made Donald Trump president, Bitcoin traded at approximately $700. While today, one coin goes for 14.3, as this was written, obviously now more than that, a gain of more than 1,900%. Now, what I want you to do here is just, and it's hard to work percentages out, it is for me when I left school with no maths qualifications at all. But here's a thought for you. Take Bitcoin at 15K and times it by 2,000 or even 2,000%. Now, that you can't quite do that so easy because you've got compounding, but just imagine if your 15,000 Bitcoin just 100x'd, would you be happy? Not 2,100. You know, this is where this thing is going. And it's so believable now. When we go back and we look at that chart I just showed you, if I zoomed right out, and actually I was talking to Rocky Palumbo, who's in the chat. We were chatting the other night, and we were saying that when you zoom out and you look at the high, the all-time high of 2017 of just shy of 20 grand, and you look at where we are now, all of a sudden we ain't a million miles away, and that is going to come in a heartbeat. That's going to come so quick, and then we're going to go past that. This is now so believable, where people struggled to believe that back in 2017, 2018, when it was crashing, 2019, when we were in that bear market, 3 grand, 4 grand, etc. This is real, and it's coming, people. You better believe it. Square selling Bitcoin faster than it can be mined. What does that mean? A potential supply crisis incoming. How many times have people like myself and Bitcoin Meister and all the others out there, Swan Bitcoins, Michael Saylor, all these people have been saying there is not enough to go round. There isn't enough to go round. Let's have a look at what this article was saying. Square sold a record 160,000 Bitcoin in Q3 of 2020. That's the third quarter. We're now in Q4. Consumer demand for Bitcoin far outstrips new supply from mining. The US is in the midst of a Bitcoin boom among financial services companies, investment funds, and payment providers, which offer BTC are selling record quantities. For instance, financial services company Square generated 1.6 billion in BTC revenues in Q3, up 11x from last year from its mobile payment cash app. Investment funds are also buying and holding Bitcoin in huge quantities. Grayscale added 40,000 BTC to its balance sheet in October alone, much more than 27,000 BTC which were mined during the month. More recently, payments giant PayPal enabled Bitcoin purchases from their accounts. Shortly after adding the feature, CEO Dan Schulman raised buying limits for the cryptocurrency after seeing that demand was 2 times to 3 times of what our expectations were. As a result, the crypto industry may be facing a supply crisis. People, how many times have I been saying on my show? Divide 21 million, even though 2-3 million are lost forever, we could say 18 million, 19 million, but let's go with 21 million. Divide 21 million coins by 7 point whatever it is people on the planet. There is not enough to go round. If you, I'm looking at right now, if you aim for and work towards getting 1 full Bitcoin, I'm telling you, you are in the Bitcoin elite. Sorry. So there is not enough to go round. And it's, imagine just another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Michael Saylor type companies. Imagine just one of the big tech companies, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Apple, coming in and just mopping up 5%, using 5%, 1% of their treasury reserves in cash and buying Bitcoin. It's a done deal, people. It's all over. So, this supply crisis incoming, we've been shouting from the rooftops about this ever since I got into Bitcoin, and we're still shouting about it. So don't wait. Buy Bitcoin. No financial advice intended. Oh, got an itchy eye. Sorry. Famous rapper Logic just made a big investment in Bitcoin. Okay, so he's a rapper, but he's got a huge following. So if I scroll down, Bitcoin trended on Twitter this past week as its price shot higher in the biggest move in months. In the span of a day, the move garnered so much attention that famous celebrities began to discuss the cryptocurrency once again. One such celebrity was Sir Robert Bryson Hall II, also known as Logic. Logic is a now retired rapper and content creator whose records have topped the charts on many occasions, and his net worth estimated to be around $15 million US. When you get people like this coming into the space, it is just more awareness being created. And it's happening, but it's steady. One person here, one company there, one institution there. And all of a sudden, it's going to be slowly, oh my God, what's happening? And that's incoming as well, for sure, people. What else? Another bullish sign. Crypto ATMs have expanded 80% since last year alone. Where are we? About 11,655 ATMs now available in the world to be able to buy Bitcoin and crypto at an ATM. Coin ATM Radar has provided figures from its data warehouse to show the number of ATMs allowing crypto transactions have increased tremendously over the past 12 months. According to the data, the increase almost triples the number available at the same time last year. At the beginning of the year, there were 6,372 crypto ATMs. At the time of this going to press, there are already over 11,650 deployed throughout the world. The number is surely going to increase as more ATMs are still being installed in different locations around the world. Just another indicator, people. None of us really care, do we, about what goes on behind the scenes when we need to make a payment with our credit or debit card. Okay, that will be the same with Bitcoin. It's coming. It's already happening. And we that are in the game now, we want to know how it works. We're following how it works. We want to learn how it all works. But the masses going forward will be able to simply go to an ATM and buy whatever Bitcoin they want instantly at that ATM, and they won't need to know what's going on under the hood or under the bonnet in what we refer to as the engine. Okay, keep that one in mind. And here's a FUD article, but they don't get it, and I've already mentioned it on this show. Bitcoin in overbought territory, close quotes, says researchers as BT suddenly corrects. What a baloney. Yes, we know it is in scarcity territory, but not overbought. They're almost implying too many people have bought Bitcoin and now it's crashing because of it. There ain't enough people. There just ain't enough. According to researchers at Santiment, Bitcoin has been in an overbought territory. Merely 2 hours after the report came out, BTC dropped 4%. Whoopie-doo and big deal. Possibly due to the uncertainty around the election, more like it, the cryptocurrency market saw a steep pullback. No, not steep at all. As Bitcoin declined from 13.7 to 13.2, whoopie-doo, a few percent, Ethereum and other major cryptocurrencies also plunged. FUD article. You just need to be aware of this type of article. What you need to get and understand is there ain't enough to go around. So therefore, how can it be overbought? Maybe some individuals have stretched themselves. Maybe they've over-leveraged themselves and they've got to sell their position because the 4% made a huge difference to them. Maybe they got buy-stop positions put in place or something. Sell when it goes below a certain price. I don't know. I don't understand trading. All I know is don't take any notice of FUD articles. If we were to go back and have another look quickly at what's going on in the markets, you can see, if I pull this out, look how up and down and volatile that is. We have to ride these small corrections, and they are small corrections. You know, if you didn't understand this and you saw this correction down to, I believe when I was watching it, just dipped under 15k, 14.9 something, and then it started to rebound back up again to around 15.2. It'll do this, I believe. It'll go up and down a few percent, up a few percent, maybe a bigger one, and then all of a sudden it will gather momentum and the thing will go again and we'll fire towards that all-time high. So be patient, people. Patience is a virtue. Don't look at the charts 15-minute, hourly, daily. Just zoom out and see that Bitcoin is in the right direction. Okay, quick interlude, bear with me. I want to give a shout out to Dan at justlearnbitcoin.com. He's not well, so send your thoughts out to Dan. He messaged me yesterday. He's in hospital. I think he's going to be in there for close to a month. He's waiting for an operation. He's in significant pain. And Dan, if you get to watch this, mate, on catch up, you know, thinking of you, sending healing thoughts for you to get well. You've struggled for at least a year that I'm aware of. And I really hope that whatever they're going to do, they're going to get on top of this and get you out of pain and get you back into the real world. But Dan heads up justlearnbitcoin.com. He's the CEO, and it's worth checking them out. Hey, to support Dan, you know, with what he's going through right now, because he can't have his finger on the pulse, so to speak. But, you know, they've got everything over there to do with wallet setup and backup, storage solutions, end-of-life planning, vanity addresses, coins sent to the wrong chain. You may be able to get them back. Mining questions. They've got consultancy packages. I mean, they've got everything over there. Very quickly on the tabs, they've got some great merch. I forgot to put mine on tonight because I was in a bit of a rush, but bracelets. They've got all the merchandise you could want to promote Bitcoin, from hoodies to mugs to bath towels to absolutely everything. So do check out justlearnbitcoin.com. Whilst we're in the interlude, I also want you to ask you to check out this website, bitcoinstolen.com. Now that will be in the show notes afterwards, as well as a secondary address, because we never know if any point in time Bitcoin stolen may go away. Basically, there'll be two links that will take you to this address. Now, this is Phil Volman. Phil's in the chat with us right now. We lovingly refer to Phil as Pastor Phil. Why? Because he was a pastor in the church for 16 years. He was also in the American military back in the Vietnam War days. His family have brought up disabled children and adopted them as their own. And Phil was building up his Bitcoin, let's use the word pot, when it was hacked, when he was doing an update on his Trezor. And if you want to know how that happened, here's a couple of great videos, well worth watching, that we've done with Phil, that explains that Phil is very well versed on both Bitcoin and on Trezor, and yet he was not paying attention to his URL bar. He was hacked and his 14 Bitcoin was stolen. And you don't want that to happen to you like it happened to Phil. So here's the family story entitled Bagpipes, Bitcoin and Broken Dreams. Well worth a read, honestly. And finally, Phil was happy for us to divulge the transaction ID for any tech heads watching this of how the Bitcoin was hacked. And you can see all of Phil's transactions as he was leading up to the hack. And at the top of this narrow box, you can see the Bitcoin taken from Phil's wallet. So on any of these pages, excuse me, if you click the link near the bottom, it will take you here to Tallycoin, which is the fundraising site to help Phil get some Bitcoin back. You can donate a tiny amount. You can see it there, 50 cents if you want. You know, You can stay anonymous. You can send Phil a message to let him know who sent it. And I can tell you, knowing Phil now on a personal level and proud to call him a friend of both mine and my wife's, he's a lovely guy and he appreciates absolutely every single tiny donation. So let's have a push and help get Phil back towards one whole Bitcoin out of 14 would be good. Maybe we can all reach out and get Michael Saylor on my show, and then I can plug Phil's cause whilst Michael's watching on the show, and who knows, he might even look at his 17,600 Bitcoin and think, I'll donate 14 to him, I won't miss it, it's pocket change. So I want to get Michael Saylor on my show. I've only got just under 300 subs, but if enough people reach out and tweet at Michael Saylor, we might just do that and we could help Phil and his cause. It would be an awesome way to help that cause, I believe. Excuse me. Okay, so let's get back to the show. And as always, I found some great talk of the devil. He's sure to appear. Michael Saylor tweeted, when I look at Bitcoin, I don't see a call option on the future or apocalypse insurance or a non-correlated asset class. I see a new invention, pure monetary energy. And it reminds me of oil, antibiotics, and electricity. It's like giving freezing investors the gift of fire. What an awesome tweet. If you follow Michael Saylor, he comes out with some really profound tweets. This guy is really a beacon of light and hope within the Bitcoin space. He really is. Many people said that when he came in, he's only in it to benefit his company MicroStrategy. But then he announced that he's got over 17,700 and something Bitcoins personally. He put his money where his mouth is, and he's actually doing so much good for the Bitcoin community. If you actually check out some of the podcasts he's done, he's even really batted back quite hard against some traders that wanted to beat him down, if you like, or beat Bitcoin down with a stick. So a beacon of light and hope within Bitcoin. I've used Armand Palmer quite a lot. Excuse me. That's really tickling tonight. Apologies, I have got a mute button now and I'm still getting my head around it. As the price of Bitcoin goes up, the chance of it being a correct decision to buy long term goes up. Let's have a look at that for a moment. How many people might have had the chance to buy Bitcoin at, say, $100 and didn't, and then they bought at, say, $3,000? Yeah? So now Bitcoin's 15,000. People are saying, I can't afford to buy Bitcoin. I tell you now, when Bitcoin is over 300,000, people will still be buying Bitcoin. Yeah? So hold it long term. Rocky Palumbo has got a great 4x4x4. Rocky, I hope I said that right. If you want to get my attention, people, I'm on my phone with the chat. So I'm just checking. Oh, Michael Webber's in the house. Welcome, Michael. I use Ledger Nano. I must be one of those hacked into and receive the phishing emails and text. I must be. Yeah, don't ignore. Anytime you get an email from Ledger, Trezor, don't click on the link. Whatever you do, go to their official website, Michael, and anyone else. I'm just checking to see if I've missed anybody putting in my name. Wilco Delamar, welcome to you. I've seen you're in the chat there. This is weird having to look at this on my phone. Something's changed on my computer and I can't bring it up on the screen now because of that video you can see moving around the back. So just having a quick look down. I don't think anybody else new has joined, but welcome to every one of you that are in the house. As always, it is great to have you with us. Rocky, 4x4 equals retirement. Rocky and I have been talking about this. And if you think about this, if you really wanted to benefit from this Bitcoin phenomenon, just work a way out to literally tighten your belt everywhere. Cut down on your coffees out or cut them out. Don't have takeaways, cook in. Don't buy that extra bit of clothing if you don't really need it. Throw it all into Bitcoin. For 4 years, absolutely hell-bent focus. And then wait another 4 years and do nothing with that Bitcoin. I hope I've explained that, Rocky. And as it says there, equals retirement. Crikey, I got into Bitcoin in 2017, and in May 21, that's 4 years gone, and it is absolutely rocketed by. So that 4 years of pulling your belt in, not, buying Bitcoin was something you'd ordinarily waste, cinema, whatever it might be, and then waiting 4 years, you could be in a position you never dreamt was possible. Okay, one from, hold on, are they better? Major Vijay, major financial institutions are paying attention. Those that offer Bitcoin to their customers are seeing a meaningful improvement to their bottom line. At the end of this cycle, all the big players will be scrambling to provide Bitcoin services. As it says there, it's in response to Square's bet is paying off. This thing's happening, people. Miss it at your peril. What else? Plan B. He divides people. But whether you believe him or not, I love this tweet. People ask if I still believe in my stock to flow model. To be clear, I have no doubt whatsoever that Bitcoin stock to flow is correct and Bitcoin will tap $100 to $288,000 per coin before December 2021. That is pretty darn bullish, isn't it? Yeah? In fact, I have new data that confirms the supply shortage is real. In my opinion, 2021 will be spectacular. Not financial advice. Hey, this is a guy from somewhere in Scandinavia, I believe, or the Netherlands, somewhere over that part of the world near to us, that I know because I've listened to him on a few podcasts. He deals in his current job with multi-billion contracts. This is a big hitter that does this for a living. And, we can't predict price. We're not going to predict price. But if his model that he absolutely believes in, and so do a lot of other people, comes true, imagine investing into 115k Bitcoin that turns into nearly $300,000 or hits a high of 288,000 by the end of next year. Think of those returns. That does not mean go out and sell your car, your home, or your mum. It does not. Don't ever invest what you can't afford to lose. But very, very bullish tweet indeed from Plan B. And Michael Saylor again, sorry to use him as much as I do, but I really respect the guy. And I'd love to get him on my show. Bitcoin is the greatest monetary athlete of our time. That's profound in itself, isn't it? Superstar athletes are exceptional, enigmatic, and erratic in their first decade as they learn and master their craft. In their second decade, they crush everyone and everything in their path. Oh, do you know, I really allow tweets like this to get inside me and just, I just want to burst with the possibility of where this could go for each and every one of us if we build our Bitcoin now. How many of you bought the dip over the weekend? Because I did. I was led in bed at 11:30 at night, looking on my phone before I went to sleep. I saw the red candles and a correction, and that was it. I was in there like a ferret down a hole, and I bought some Bitcoin to buy it at that slightly lower price. That's what we need to be doing here. But at the very least, dollar cost averaging every time we get paid and not missing a payday and building that up over time. Because as I said many, many shows ago, if you own a third of a Bitcoin, in fact, 0.28 of a Bitcoin, in the future, in decades to come, if you're younger than me, Probably most people are. I'm an old fossil now. If you own 0.8 of a Bitcoin in, say, a decade from now, you will be financially set for life, and your family will, as Bitcoin goes through 1 million. Think about it, people. And my quote, and I love quotes. I found this one from the philosopher Plato. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Bitcoin is the light, people. I don't want to get all evangelical, but we've never seen anything like this in human living history. Never have we seen such a hard, sound money that can't be inflated away, that can't be manipulated by governments. This is a monstrous deal, and ignore it at your peril. You don't want to ignore this, because do your own research, and this is what I came to. I knew this within weeks of getting a phone call, and I didn't even understand what Bitcoin was. I'd never heard of Bitcoin before, but I'd always been in that success mindset. You can see behind me, this over here, the book by Alan Sugar, one of the billionaires here in the UK. I read stuff like that, because I wanted to feed my mind with positivity. I wanted to be in the right place at the right time when the right innovations came along. And if my friend Gary hadn't have taken the time to give me a call when he did, and I could have said no or go away, or I'm all skeptical and bitter and twisted, but I didn't, I'd have never known about this. Maybe I would have found out about it today, last year, 2018, but I found out about it before the big bull run in 2017 and got several Bitcoins before the thing pumped up. Then I watched it come all the way back down again. Then 2 years in a bear market. Now we're heading up towards that all-time high again, and we're going to go buy it. So you must build that strong Bitcoin hand. You've got to build it, because when these corrections happen, when we've gone through 6 figures, you're going to see maybe 10, 15, 20,000, knocked off a Bitcoin price. And you've got to have that strong hand. So that's your Bitcoin show for Monday, people. Monday, the 9th of November, 2020. For those of you that are watching this in the future. As always, please like this video, share it, subscribe, bash the bell button if you're new. Follow me on UK Bitcoiner, the backup channel. Follow me on Twitter at UK Bitcoin Master. Tweet at Michael Saylor that you should go on UK Bitcoin Master's live show as a guest. And if we just do that here and there and we keep doing it, that's how we get these people to get irritated. I watched him on a podcast recently where he said, you tweeted me to death, your followers tweeted me to death, and I thought, who is this guy? I better connect with him. I've tried to reach him, but I can't. He ignores my DMs. He's a multi-billionaire. But you guys can help me by tweeting at him. You ought to go on UK Bitcoin Master show as a guest. And then we can plug Bitcoin, Pastor Phil's cause. We can do a lot of good, people, together. So people, Yorkie Bitcoiner, who feels bullish after this? Thanks, my good man. I nearly said your personal name there, Yorkie. I better not do that. Thanks everyone. Do tweet it out. Do check out the notes afterwards for bitcoinstolen.com to Pastor Phil's site and the other URL if that domain ever went down. I'll say one thing before I go. Bitcoin to the moon, if you watch this on catch up, perhaps you can reach out to me and let me know, because Bitcoin to the moon very kindly donated the bitcoinstolen.com for free to Phil's cause. So I just want to be reassured that you've got no intention of letting that lapse, that you're going to keep it running, but there'll be a backup underneath it as well. That's it, people. I'm out of here. Enjoy your Monday evening, afternoon, wherever you are. I'll catch you all on Thursday, as always, at 6 p.m. London time. I'm gone. Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, signing off. Social media links are coming up. See you all Thursday. Ta-da.